Okay, today we're going to talk about using Regex with Minion Backup, or actually with any of the Minion maintenance products, but we're going to concentrate on Backup, but it does work the exact same in all of them. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to run this with statement only to get a list of the databases that are going to be run. So here I am. And you can see on this server I've got one called AAA and Advanced Scripting and AdventureWorks, and those guys are right down here. They start at 44 through 46. And I want to exclude those. Well, it's fairly easy to do with Regex. All I have to do is come in here to the Regex table. That's minion.db maint regex lookup. Here, I'll even show it to you over here because that's kind of long. And that is db maint regex lookup right there. There we go. And I want to specify an action in here. So I want to specify exclude for this one. And the maintenance type can either be backup, CheckDB, Reindex, or all. And here I want to use $A. And what $A means is, of course, it's a regular expression, and it means anything that starts with A. So the caret means begins with. So anything that starts with A is going to be excluded. Now I also have this one here, and I'm going to go ahead and kill it for right now. There we go. Now let's take a look at this. When I want to exclude by Regex, I simply put exclude by Regex right there. Now, when I do this, it'll take just a couple seconds for that. There we go. And you can see if we come down here into the 40s, you can see that the A's have not shown up in the list now because we excluded them based off of a regex. Now, you can stack these regex expressions as well. So if I take this one and copy it down here, and now I'm going to put backup and anything that starts with minion. There we go. So now I'm going to get this one and this one. It's going to be inclusive. It's going to take everyone that you feed it. And I don't have to change this expression at all. That's what makes this so powerful now is I don't have to change anything else. If I say exclude by regex, then it will simply read out of the table. So this is a really good way for you to programmatically be able to handle this and dynamically be able to handle this and not have to change your call. So now when I run this again, there we go. And now you can see that anything with minion is gone. And if I come to the 40s, these guys are gone again. So all of the A's and all of the minions have gone. So that is the basics of how to work with Regex. You can handle any regular expression you want to, including just flat out hard-coded expressions or hard-coded strings. So I also wanted to talk about how these are relatively simple, right? There's nothing here that can't be done with a wildcard in this example, but regular expressions get very complicated. And so you could write some really complicated regex expressions to include or exclude your databases. So just because I'm using a simple example that could be covered by, say, DBGroups, right? Doesn't mean that this doesn't have any value. There are plenty of people that are using this to exclude databases with dates in the middle and then followed by certain numbers or created by certain people or whatnot. So there are many situations where plain search strings just wouldn't cut it. Now, sort of as a category completion, let me show you how this same thing would work with database groups. So I would come here to the DB maint DBGroups table. There we go. And all I would do is look for an exclude. So here's how this works there. So I've got the same thing, exclude backup, exclude backup. So I would take both of these guys right here and I give them the same group name. So the group name itself is going to be DW, and it's going to consist of all of the databases that start with D and all of the databases that start with MB. So since that group name is DW, then what I would do here, oops, let me get rid of that. So what I would do here, instead of excluding by regex, I would exclude by DBGroup:(DW). And so again, this is going to be all-inclusive. This is going to be cumulative. So it's going to look at this line and it's going to look at this line because they're both active. So this is another way you could do this. You could do either one, and they're both easily managed programmatically. If I wanted to refine this search string here, add another one, or refine this one, then I can do it again without changing my call syntax. And of course, this call syntax, this exclude column, can be added to the settings server table, so you don't have to actually go into the job to change it. You could change it programmatically as well. And there you go. That is how to exclude or include databases based off of regex expressions, and the difference between doing that and using database groups.